You know, one of the big annual events here in the Tampa Bay area is called Fashion Week. And one of the new designers showcasing their collection this year is Kato Kaelin. Yeah, Kato Kaelin. Check out my interview. It's been over 20 years since Kato Kaelin gained worldwide attention as a witness on what became known as the trial of the century, the 1994 O.J. Simpson murder case. Back in 2004, I did have a chance to meet and interview Kato in LA at the Playboy Golf Celebrity Tournament. So I could not resist the chance to catch up with Kato Kaelin at the beautiful ALOFT Hotel in downtown Tampa. Kato, we were talking 10 years ago, the last time I interviewed, we were sitting in pajamas at the Playboy Mansion at the Grotto, having a great time. And here we are talking about Kato Potato. You got to fill me in pajamas. What are you doing right now with these pajamas?
Well, it's loungewear, and when my pajama line comes out,
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're going to actually call it pajamos. So please, pajamas got a much better ring to it. Yeah, you know, Hef's kind of famous for the whole wearing the robe and the pajamas, and mine is a loungewear, and it's going to be Slacker. We're going to go with the one name Slacker. Of course, I'm just Kato Potato. Slacker is what it's going to go by, and it's great because the media, and you're part of the media, they sort of term me as the biggest slacker. And I start going, gosh, I'm never going to lose that, but I think it's kind of a good thing to be called slacker. And why don't I just embrace? So I said, embrace your inner slacker. And now it's kind of caught on.
Did you spend quite a time trying to go against that, the way you were not in the beginning?
You know what, I probably thought, gosh, they don't even know how hard I really work.
Yeah.
But then again, to do a clothing line called Slacker, people are going to find out that being a slacker is really a tough thing to do. And you work hard enough that you can kind of enjoy your Saturday and Sunday on the couch wearing it. And you know what, a great story is I brought a pair to Charlie Sheen. He's been my friend for over 20 years. And his girlfriend said, oh my God, I love these. And she's the first one to try them. And she put them on and she said, these are the most comfortable shorts. So she was walking around the shorts and Charlie kept going, those are mine. So I'm pretty excited that he loved the pair too. So it's
what was the inception and what was the inspiration? Where did it start? I mean, obviously there's a concept, and how do you bring it to fruition?
Well, it's a great question.
Rhonda
has been my friend for over 20 years, and I knew her way before the trial. And Rhonda, I did some MC and comedy, and Rhonda was always a headlining act, and we became friends. I never lost touch with Rhonda Shear. And then
She's
I read
our local
a story.
Celebrity here in Tampa Bay and Hollywood connection here.
She is a huge celebrity.
Yeah.
She was in the Forbes 5000 article, and we bumped into each other at the mansion in pajamas.
Oh.
And she said, Kato, you should do a clothing line. And I said, Rhonda, you know, I've had this idea in my head forever. I've been called Slacker. I said, why don't we do a loungewear and kind of like the couch potato Slacker? And
are you serious? That was the conversation at the Playboy Mansion.
She made a ticket already for that week, flew me out here to your town, which I love, and I met her at Shear Enterprises headquarters, and we start writing and we start developing the entire line. And I said the design should have a pocket. Guys always lose change, or guys always lose their cell phones and TV remotes. You put a pocket, says TV remote here, so we have it. We have another pocket for Cheetos, Fritos, Doritos. If it ends in O, we're the Katos, we're the Slackers. And we just started loving it, and the bands were made with the backwards K of Slacker. So the K in there is backwards with the feet going backwards, because I said, it's every so often you got to take a step back to move forward. And we have that, and you got to kind of look, because I had to take a step back in my life to move forward, and things have really gone forward. And that's the conception of everything kind of happening.
Incredible.
There.
And to see your product walking down a runway, we're here, you're here at Tampa Bay Fashion Week. We're making things happen here in Tampa Bay. Talk about what is it like to sit there and watch the runway with your products and ideas.
You know what? It's I got to do it last year, and my line wasn't ready, and now it's ready. It's been made, and the people sort of. I don't know what one of the articles was written by the main fashion critic, and I can't think of her name right now. And what I've dealt with my whole life, her first line was, why is Kato Kaelin here? I didn't want to like his stuff or him, but I did. Wow. And it made me say, people should never prejudge anybody.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I know a person's judgmental just by looking at them.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, wait a minute, that's a joke.
Yeah, understood. Now, what are some of the lessons is going through this entrepreneurial experience, this ride with Rhonda? What have been some of the lessons that you've learned in going through this entire process?
Well, I see Rhonda is a genius. And I know that for years she played the ditzy blonde.
Yeah.
No one knows it's really in that brain, and it's all marketing. She's a genius with it. She's the #1 vendor at Home Shopping Network, and I'm a partner with her with this. This is like, are you kidding me? You can't get a better partner. She knows exactly the market, and I'm like, Rhonda, just run with it. I know, I love people. I've always loved people, and I think it's kind of a people thing to sell things. You've got to really. I believe in it. I'm passionate about it. I tried everything on. It's stuff I would wear. And so it's sort of a win-win for us, I think.
So there's entrepreneurs that might be watching. Let's talk to them a little bit right now. If they have a concept or an idea, what kind of suggestions can you give to them? What kind of tips of advice from Kato tips?
Kato tips?
Yeah, I like that.
They're highlighted too. The old Kato tips are highlighted. I really think, well, I was fortunate enough to know Rhonda.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of it's sort of like
someone
saying
to walk
my best
through the
friends.
maze.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. It's like saying I know Warren Buffett. What you should do is call him, get a product. But this is something that's been brewing in my head for many, many years.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, I was kind of picked on, and I kept going. You know what? My late mom used to say, "Don't forget, every knock's a boost." And I said, well, if every knock's a boost, I should be about 100 feet tall. So I kept writing little notes down and said, I think people would love to have a TV remote. And so I came up with this concept, and Rhonda was the perfect person to pitch it to because she goes, I get it. And we've had so many different thoughts of, like the pocket for Doritos or Fritos.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an athletic guy, you golf and all that. Who does not love to at least spend time on the couch and go, I just want to veg.
Yeah.
It's all I want to do. And to have the woman just as much saying, those are comfortable. So I think it's sort of one of those things that a guy and a girl can wear. It's made for the guy, but I mean, let's face it, the women pick out a lot of the clothes for the men.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about your complete line now. So you're targeting men, women, and kids. I mean, it's a complete product. It's a complete line. Talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're going to start with men's. We're going to start with 2 pair of pants, 2 shorts, and a robe. Maria, am I right? So I'm right. That was the voice of God. And God's a female. So yeah, we're going to start with that. When the women's line come out, we're going to have the robes, and we're picking the whole collection out right now. And I've flown here quite a few times, and they've Marie and Jill and Rhonda. We've had meetings. We sit down, and we really a book like this of picking out fabrics, a book of colors. And I know I'm not a designer. I'm not this, but I'm starting to learn everything, and I feel the fabric, and I kind of go, God, I would like this. I think people would like it, and then we kind of all look at each other and say, that's the winner.
What an experience for you.
And
Kato Kaelin, fashion designer.
Yes, and
like
the
that,
slacker
huh?
band on the, it's just a great look. You got the slacker, the back pocket with the little slacker. It's bamboo and rayon.
Yeah.
It's the most comfortable clothes. I mean, it's a breathable.
Is it available online somewhere at stores? You have a web. I mean,
This is October 2014.
Yeah.
It's all coming out. So this Fashion Week is huge for us to have it come out and to meet the people from Home Shopping Network and whoever else in buyers. So it's really important for me. And you asked the question about tips for any entrepreneurs. I think it's basically if you really believe in something, and everybody says that, if you believe in it, do it. And I really think if it's meant to happen, it just kind of happen. Give it that year, give it that 2 years, and if you have something to fall back on.
And also, probably the other lesson is if you have a mentor, a partner who can guide you through that maze and take that passion, it could be a great ride for you.
Yeah. Here's Rhonda's number.
Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about Tampa Bay. This is, our show is called Good Life Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. I know you watch the show. You've heard of the show.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Are you kidding me?
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
on my TiVo, and TiVo. I'm outdating myself. DVR. It's like
I got the VCR tapes for you. Yeah,
I got that.
I got there. Talk about the Tampa Bay area. This is, Good Life Tampa Bay is about the people, places, and events. Things happen here in our community. Talk about being here. You come here a lot.
Yes.
HSN is here. Rhonda's here. Talk about our hood here.
When I come here to this town, and I swear to you when I say this is not BS. This is the truth. I love this area so much. I love that it's a thing where people are. I relate, like where I'm staying in the hotel. I feel like I'm Norm from Shears, and they go, Kato, you're here, and it's sort of being embraced. And I talk about embrace your inner slacker, and I feel like I am really actually being embraced, my inner slacker, by these people. I love the architecture here. I love the ocean. I'm a Pisces. Let's go swimming. I don't care. I'm 2 miles a day I swim. So,
Do you really?
Yeah, I always swim. I never miss I try never to miss. The pool at the Hilton, unfortunately, is being cleaned today by me. And the restaurants, it's a lot like when you go in St. Petersburg itself.
Yeah.
It's a lot I compare it to, it's sort of like that Rodeo Drive feel.
It really is, isn't it?
And
Yeah.
God, there's just so many great restaurants here.
Yeah.
Great people. It's and the show they put on, it's, I know they talk about New York Fashion Week, but this is kind of a rock and roll.
Yeah,
sort of
it really
a
is.
really great
now,
vibe.
are you doing other fashion weeks around the country as well as you're rolling out your product? Are you doing?
This is as far as I know right now, this is our rollout in Tampa. It's like you said, the home shopping network, and so we're excited. Hopefully, this will catch on to the next fashion show. We just want to sell it and have people wearing it.
Well, and I know this is going to be helping as far as you got something that's exciting, it's different, and it's unique. Talk about your schedule. We were talking a little bit earlier off camera. The last 30 days has been a whirlwind for you, 24/7. Talk about, that's not a slacker schedule.
No.
Talk about what you're doing. You're involved with charities, things that are important to you. What's going on there?
Well, some of the stuff that's going on inside was, I have a TV show also I do in Beverly Hills. I got one that was called Tailgating with Kato, and it's very, very big in the UK, which is my market for slacking. And it's viewed by about 17 million.
Wow.
And that's, I filmed that, and then I just got a gig with the Movie and Music Network. And I'm just doing a show there. It's a video on demand. You have to pay for it, subscription, but that also comes with about 10,000 films. So you just have to Google my name, Kato Kaelin, Movie and Music Network, and you order my shows. It's a talk show. And then one of the people I had on my show was a guy named Christopher Coppola. And Christopher said, I'm doing a film, I'd love you to be in it. So I did the film, and through that film, my performance, I guess, is I start a lead in the film, and this is through Christopher. We shot up at the San Francisco, where they have the famous Zoetrope Studios, which is famous for Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfathers, and Apocalypse Now. So I was getting all my wardrobe done in his office, and I thought, oh my God, this is such a dream. So I continue. I came out from Wisconsin to California to become an actor, and everything else ancillary is kind of happening now. And it's taken a long, long time. So when you tell people that you want to be an actor, this has taken about 36 years for me.
Yeah.
It's
so that was well
process.
before all the public media stuff. You were there to pursue a career.
I was in an academy for acting well before the trial. I like to say I paid my dues, but you never stop paying your dues. And I've been around a long time. I've been a Screen Actors Guild card member for over 30 years.
Wow.
So I've been around a long time, and it takes forever. But I hope that all this stuff, the cream will rise, and people can understand, like, Kato's been around a long time, way before that trial.
Yeah, understood. What do you want people to know about you today? If you had a chance to talk to people and say, what would you want to, what's important to you? Maybe it's not important. What do you want to bring out that, hey, who's Kato Kaelin? Forget 20 years ago. Where are you right now? Where are you going in the future? Tell me a little bit about that.
I think people, I would like people to be sort of like they are in my hometown in Wisconsin. You're not really judged there. And I think if you market something, everybody wants to defeat it like, well, that guy's famous because of that. Whether or not you are or not, I really think people should, in life, you don't prejudge. You just can't, because one day you'll see what it's like to wear the other person's shoe, and you'll go, now I get it. So I always give the benefit of the doubt, and unfortunately we have a thing called social media now, where people can hide and make fun of people through their Twitters and through any accounts they want to do, the Facebook.
How do you deal with that? If someone's on the negative side through their Twitter and bashing, I mean, how have you dealt with that?
Sometimes I go directly to them and kind of say what I'm saying, I wish you really knew me. I'm not this person that you're making fun of right now.
Yeah.
And I do that, and 80% of the time they kind of go, sorry. And fortunately, I have a girlfriend who's in the media.
Talk about that.
Well, she's the number one person that, she's a 3-time Emmy-winning news anchor, and if people in LA area would ever say anything negative about me, you have to answer to her, because let me tell you that she dealt with how I was in the news, and to have this person as my girlfriend who was got to be very protective of whatever her image is, and she's my lifesaver. She's it. She's done everything for me, and when I say everything for me, I don't ask to be defended. She does it on her own. Right. She sees a comment and she goes, "Do you know this person? Do you know?" So, Lena Wynn's her name, and
I see, and we interact on Facebook, and I see the joy in your face. It goes above and beyond just the laugh. I see it go down to your heart.
Yeah,
I could see that thoroughly how she has moved you, And talk a little bit about that. I mean, you guys got a special. I mean, you got like
she has a charity of her own called LATO, Love Across the Ocean, and I got involved. I did her charity, and through that charity of seeing her, that's when our eyes sort of locked, and she knew me, Kato, from the trial, and obviously, but she was way beyond other people that judge, and allowed me to get into her emotionally, and we just and she's been a part of this line also, helping me pick out.
Right.
She's got a great eye
like, hey,
for.
What do you think, honey? Right? It's like.
Oh yeah, and she is.
Yeah.
Her fashion senses are off the chart, so it's helped out a lot.
And so, how have you changed specifically? How have you changed with the interaction of your relationship? How did that change you?
Well, I think the image of me, which I still think wasn't true, was a womanizer. But before I'd met her, I was with a girl for 7 years who I was loyal to. So I lived with a girl for 7 years. Then I still to this day am dear friends with her, but we just didn't get married. And it's the whole thing of a year of passing by and then meeting someone else and going, okay, now I get it. I was supposed to be with this. This is what pain's all about. Pain makes you grow, and as you know, anybody that's going through grief, it's a process you have to deal with, and grief can only
Are you coming from a spirituality source or some kind of philosophy? It seems as you're talking with this, reflective.
Yeah. I think I've lost both my parents. My sister lost her son in Iraq, and I think grief is. I've seen him go. Our family just go through so much grief, but the whole thing is we've had. You talk, and who does not? Grief is just part of life. You've got to have grief to grow. So that's what I've seen. I know on this earth it's a very short time. I always called it for any interview I've done. It's like, hey, we're on Earth for a semester. You got to have fun, and I think I do live for fun, and that's true. But that doesn't mean I'm a partier. It means I love life, and I really, really embrace life. Wow. And the slacker wear is part of my life now, where it's going, and it sort of it comes full circle. And you know what? Rhonda's the same person. She became very, very wealthy. She's the same person 23 years ago. I think when people become ultra successful, if you're that same person, it's not going to change you.
Yeah.
I think other people change around you. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm always going to be the same dude.
As you look out to the future from where you are now, with all the great things that are coming together for your relationship, business, and you look to the future, what do you see? What would you like to see if you were able to paint that future? With the line, what do you?
That's a great question. I see it always as being successful and helping others. That's it. And that's all. I'd be the happiest person in the world.
When you say help others, how do you define that?
Well, if I have a family friend that needs kind of help, if financially they need help and I'm able to, I think that's the best gift. If the company kind of takes off and other people need work through it, that's what I would like to do.
Okay, cool.
Keep everybody involved. That's sort of I think success is grounded when you have good people around you.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like birds of a feather flock together. I just want to make sure I have the right birds.
Yeah, awesome.
And not the Twitter bird.
That's right.
Have you seen my car? I just washed it. Well, that damn bird. Always going to the bathroom.
If you could kind of in a summary, kind of where we wrap up here. If you look at kind of what makes your brand and style, the clothing line, why your loungewear?
My loungewear, yeah.
You corrected me on that. So if you're a loungewear, why should people purchase that?
Well, first of all, if you go out in the marketplace right now, there's not many choices. So it's an easy choice sort of to make. There's not a lot of loungewear. There's nothing. I really think the way slacker is represented and the spelling and the backwards K, it's just got a great feel. And I always said, do you ever have that favorite shirt? Do you ever have that favorite pair of pants? This is how I see these clothes. It's like, it like kind of gives you power. You feel like you put on something, it's like, oh, I can conquer anything. That's the feeling I have with slacker wear. I think it's that pair of pants you never throw out. It's that great feel. And I think that's what it's going to be. And I think when time comes and it's successful, the kids line, I think it's going to be, it's cater tots.
Cater tops?
Cater tots.
Cater tots. Perfect.
Why not?
Perfect.
You know, you have that going on, and for the women's line, we'll have slacker women's line. We may have sweet potatoes and hot potatoes. You know, being a couch potato is not a bad thing either.
Yeah, you've leveraged that. Now with LA and Tampa, do you see that continuing as far as two home bases where you're making things happen from? That's the connection.
Yeah, 100%. I know no matter what, I'll have to travel back and forth. I think it's a really good thing. I like coming to this coast. I always say, you know, it's 3 hours earlier, but you get paid earlier.
There you go. That's right. There you go. Right.
You don't have to wait 3
You
hours.
go to bed earlier too, right?
Oh,
no, actually. Well, yeah.
The bed. Let me tell you something. That people, if you realize the flying back and forth, that 3 hour difference, it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough to start a day at 8 a.m. when it's 5 a.m.
Yeah, getting things going.
Thank God I got a paper route back home.
Keeps
anybody
the
read
cash
the paper
flow, right?
anymore?
There you go. Right. Where can we find this product?
Well, not just you, but everybody you know, because you're a popular man. You can go to slackerwear.com. It's really easy. Slackerwear.com. Think of me as a picture.
Let me tell you, that was an incredible interview. I had a lot of fun. So from the ALOFT Hotel here in Tampa, for Good Life Tampa Bay, I'm H John Mejia.
It's me, I'm Kato Kaelin. I love Good Life Tampa Bay. Who wouldn't? Look at these people. It's great to be here. Remember the sunscreen. Lastly, please buy my Slackerwear. No, it's really comfortable. It's great to have.